Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have something different for you. I've decided to do my very first project pan. So if you're not familiar with the concept, project pan is something where you pick a selection of products in your possession and you try to either pan them, as in like hit pan on like a powder product, or use them up completely. So I have been trying really hard and I feel very motivated to turn over a new leaf and be a little less consumeristic and focus on using the products I have, loving the products that I have, and not getting caught up in the hype of always having to have something new. So I thought that this would be a nice exercise in teaching me how long it actually takes to use up a product and appreciating the products that I have in my collection because I bought them for a reason. So I thought that this might be a really interesting exercise. I watch a lot of project pan videos. I've never done one myself, but I decided 2020 is the year I am going to be more mindful in my spending. So I am going to continue to receive Boxycharm, but I'm going to try outside of that to really only purchase things that I have run out of that I can't replace out of my own collection, if that makes sense. So let's dive into the selection of products. I will also mention that this will be a rolling project. So if I finish up one product, I will then add something else in to replace it. I'll probably be posting these videos. I'm thinking I'm only going to post them every couple of months, maybe every 2 or 3 months. I don't want this to be a monthly thing. I have a lot of videos that I'd like to film in 2020 for this channel, so I don't want to inundate you guys with like Project Pan, Shop My Stash, all of those things. So I'm planning to still do those videos, but do them a little less frequently so that I can also focus on other content that I'd like to share with you guys. But let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more frequent Project Pan updates on my Instagram, and all my socials are listed down below in the description box. So let's dive into the products that I have selected. It's mostly makeup, but I've got a skincare product and a hair care product. So I'm going to start with the hair care. I have at least 3 bottles of open conditioner in my home. And I don't love any of them. So I want to use them up and I want to find something in the new year. Once everything I have open is gone, I want to find something in the new year that is cruelty-free and that I love. So this right here is the Diva Curl Conditioner. This is the Weightless Waves Conditioner. I've marked it, this much left in the bottle. And I have 2 other open conditioners that I'd like to work through by the end of the year. I think that's a very realistic goal. I have a lot of hair and I do wash it, 2 or 3 times a week depending on my workout schedule. So this is where we're at today. I will also be taking photos to document my progress as I go and where we started. So at the end of the year, I can show you sort of start to finish. So this is the first product that I'm adding to my project pan. As I mentioned, it is going to be a rolling project. So when this one is finished, I'll add the next bottle of conditioner in to be used up. The next product I'm going to add to my project pan is the Quintessence Vital Hydrating Mask. So this is one of my favorite masks. I love this so much. I use it. I do a mask about once a week, and I would say about half of the month I'm using this one. I love it. It's very easy to use. It has very simple ingredients, which for my acne-prone skin works best. It's mostly hyaluronic acid, oat bran extract, glycerin, and aloe. I'm like looking at the ingredients, still trying to think of words. So the reason I added this to my project is that the expiry date is March 2020 and it's January. So I don't want to let this go to waste. Originally, when I first started buying this was the only mask that I kept in my house. So it was really not a problem to use it up before the expiry date. But now with getting more and more skincare in Boxycharm, which I love, I have more of a variety of masks and I find I'm not using them up as quickly. So I just want to make sure, because I love this one so much, I want to make sure that I'm using it up before the expiry date. So this is a dark bottle, but I have marked it, and you can probably see on camera, okay, we're right about here. So we're a little better than halfway gone. I don't think this is going to be a problem to use up. I think I probably should be doing a little bit more masking than I am, because it's winter and I live in Canada and it's very dry. I probably could be doing this a couple of times a week. So I'll do that when I can. I'll continue to use it on my regular schedule, but I am going to try to use it a little bit more frequently to use it up before it expires. Now, some products are going to be hard to determine like where you're at. This one here, this is the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. I love this. I used to only have one primer in my entire collection, and now I seem to have a plethora of primers, again, because Boxycharm sends us a fair amount of primers. So I really love this. I rave about it all the time. I talked about it in my Boxycharm Best and Worst of 2019 video. I'll link that down below if you missed it. I was really proud of that video. I worked really hard on it. But this is one of the products that I talked about. I really love this primer. It's also really great for this time of year because it's an oil illuminating primer. Our skin in the winter time tends to be a little bit drier, tends to look a little bit dull. So this is really great for that. Unfortunately, it is an opaque bottle, and I did hold it up. There's a window right in front of me. I did hold it up to the window, and I really can't tell for sure how much is left in it. I think it's about half gone, but I'm not going to mark it just for the sake of having a mark on it, but I am going to work towards using this up in 2020, and when I am finished with this one, I'll add another primer because I do seem to have a lot of primers all of a sudden, and I just don't want any of them to go bad. So I'm going to focus on my favorite first because I think that's a great way to do it. I don't know if you guys are like me, but for the longest time, I had a tendency to sort of save my favorite things for like later and use the things I didn't like up first. You know, it's like if you got a really nice candle, you didn't want to light it. Like, what are you waiting for? For the queen to come over? Like, light the candle, enjoy it. So I'm trying to adopt more that attitude of, if this is the favorite primer, I should focus on using this one up first. Okay, so next I have the Physicians Formula Refresh Mint Under Eye Depuffer. I think that's what it's called. The writing has all worn off. But I loved this product when I first started using it. I loved it so much. You use it underneath your eyes. It's supposed to help depuff the eye area. It feels really nice and cooling. I don't know why I stopped using it. I think it was just like one more step, but I'm pretty close to being, well, I'm pretty close. It's probably more than half gone. So I would like to use this up because it still smells fine, but I have been using it for a while, so I feel like it's time to make sure that this is like gone. So I want to focus on using this up. I probably won't buy another product like this again. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I feel like I would prefer like a daytime eye cream that feels a little bit cooling rather than adding this other like additional step. So I do have a piece of paper. I'm going to fold it so you guys can actually see and not just see through it. So I do have a piece of paper where I've done some marking. So this one here, can you guys see me? Yeah, so this one's right here. So I'll be able to sort of judge month to month how far it's gone down based on these markings. So I want to use that up and be done with that before it goes bad. I'll tell you the rest of the things that I have marked on this piece of paper. You'll have to excuse if this seems like a very amateur project pan video because it is. It's my first one. So I'm doing my best. I've watched a lot of them, but I've never done one myself before. So next, I have this eyeliner. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I don't wear a ton of eyeliner. If I wear liner, most often it's a liquid liner because I love a wing. But 9 times out of 10, I will spend the time on eyeshadow before I'll spend the time on eyeliner. So I have a lot of eyeliners, and some of them I really like. I just kind of get out of the habit of using them. So this is the Urban Decay 24-Hour Glide On Eye Pencil in the color Smoke Out. It's such a tiny little gross nubby. I've had this for quite a while, and it is starting to definitely dry out because you know when the end of it gets like a little wiggly, inside of the pencil. That's how you know it's starting to dry out. So I want to use this up. There's really not that much left. It really shouldn't be that difficult, and it's in a very easy color. It's sort of a smoky brown color. So I've marked on the piece of paper how tall the pencil is, basically, and that's how I'm going to measure how much I've used. And this will be done basically when I have nothing to hold on to sharpen it anymore. So that's how I'm going to do that. And then for Christmas, I received the Agave Plus lip balm from a dear friend of mine, and I love this, but it got really melty really fast, and I was like, oh no. So I want to make sure that I use this before I use any of my other lip balms, and I seem to, again, have like a plethora of lip balms all of a sudden on hand. So I want to focus on using this one first before it somehow like melts into nothing. I just don't want it to go to waste, you know? So I really do love this, and there's not a lot. So, I mean, we're like right here, right? So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll post photos, it'll be fine. So I want to use that up, and then I am going to include one lipstick. I have heard a lot of people say not to add lipsticks or eyeshadows to your project pan because they're really difficult to finish up, but I'm a rebel and I'm going to do it my way, and I'll probably eat my words later. So this is the color Runway Pink from e.l.f. I have had this for quite a while. This is pretty close to being done. This is a very easy color for me to wear. It's sort of a dusty rose color. So I marked it from the top of the high point right there. This will be a very easy color for me to just like throw in my purse, and when I'm out and about and I need something on, I can toss this on because it is sort of a Your Lips But Better color. So it's the only lipstick that I'm adding to this project pan. I do, however, have a liquid lipstick that I really want to use up. I've talked about this so many times on this channel. This is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in Stepping Out. It's just like a nice brown sort of nude color. You can see where I've marked it there. That is maybe what's left. I think there's even less than that left because it is starting to dry out. So I do want to use this up probably within the next month or so, and then I haven't decided if I'll add another liquid lipstick or if I'll choose another product to replace this when it's done, but I do want to use it up before it goes bad. And then I have a liquid liner here. This is the Hank & Henry Slick With It Blickety Black long wear liquid eyeliner. I received this in a Boxycharm, and I really liked it at first, but I've noticed this one is starting to leak. So like when it looks fine now, but when I'm using it, it'll get like a big glob of eyeliner on the end of it. It's really bizarre. So I do have another one of these, so I wanted to focus on using this one up so that I could open the next one and find out, is that this eyeliner is that the way that it is, or is this one defective? I don't know. So I would like to know, and I don't want to let it go to waste either. If it's like globbing out the end, then we're wasting a lot of product. So I want to make sure that I'm using that up, and I would also like to get back in the habit of using eyeliner more often. And then I've got a handful of powder products that I want to work on. So this one I've talked about before. This is the IBY Radiant Glow Highlighter in 24 Karat Magic. I do have a significant pan on this. The main reason I want to use it up is because the packaging is broken. I've already hit pan on it. I think that's pretty realistic. This is a bit dark for me this time of year, so I can sort of mix it with something else for this time of year, but in the summertime and when I go down south, this will be a really great highlighter. The quality of this is really good. I really enjoy using it. It kind of gets shoved to the back because it's like a little single. I'm realizing as I was sort of curating this selection of products, I'm realizing that I don't reach for single eyeshadows, single bronzers, and single highlighters as often as I reach for palettes. So it makes sense to me to try to work through some of those singles. So I want to use that one up. I haven't decided if I'm going to repress it or not. I haven't been having any issues getting any product out. So I may repress it as it gets used, or I may just sort of work away with it, because with a highlighter you don't use a huge brush. So far I haven't had any issues. So I also have a little bronzer here, a little baby bronzer. This is a deluxe sample size of the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is the oldest bronzer in my collection, so that's why I chose it. It's also a deluxe sample size, so I thought if I was to use up a bronzer, this would probably be the most realistic. And I've noticed it's starting to get a couple little spots of like hard pan on it, so it's definitely getting on the older side. I think it's perfectly realistic to think that I could use this up this year, and this is the bronzer I was planning on taking with me on vacation anyway, so I think that it could work well. I've also heard it's a terrible idea to add a blush to your project pan, but I'm doing it anyway. So this is the TG Baked Blush in Awaken. It's sort of a coral color. This is my go-to sort of everyday blush. It's the blush that I have on today. It's a great color for me for just day-to-day. It sort of comes off like a peachy, glowy color. And it's not necessarily that I want to use this up. I just think it could be really fun to hit pan on it, because what does the pan look like on these blushes? Is it just flat? Is it one of those waffle ones? I don't know. I'd love to know. I've also owned these TG blushes. I have two, but this one's my favorite. And I've owned them for a very long time. So I was sort of looking at all my blushes and thinking, do I want to add one? I just think it'd be really cool to use this up, or at least hit pan on it and then move on to another one and hit pan on that one. I don't know. Might be fun. And then I do have a couple of eyeshadows, but they're already like so close to being gone. I still think it's quite realistic. This is another TG product, and this is one of their high density split eyeshadows. So it's like a duo pan, and it's in the color Flawless. So there's sort of just a flesh tone color here. And then we've got sort of a burgundy, plummy berry color. This is actually one that I reach for all the time. If I'm like, I don't have a lot of time, I need to get ready for work really fast, I reach for this because it's so easy to work with. So I thought I don't want the project to be, I don't want it to feel like work. I want it to be enjoyable. So I wanted to add products that I really like. And I thought this would be pretty realistic, at least if I could use up one side. I don't know, we'll see. But I do really love this, and I thought this would add just some ease of use to the project. Like, all of these products are like easy go-to. I reach for them all the time. So it's not like I don't want it to feel like a punishment, if that makes sense. And then lastly, I have this little MAC eyeshadow. Now this one I am gonna repress because it looks like this. It's a crumbly little mess. I have no idea what color it is because it has worn off the back, but I am going to repress that, and I'm going to make an effort to, when I want a gold, to use this gold. So that's it. Those are the products in my project pan for 2020. I'm really excited to start this project and see where it takes me. I think this could be a really good lesson in how long it actually takes to work through products. I have already made the resolution that I'm not going to keep a bunch of backup products this year. As I mentioned, I want to be more mindful in my purchasing, and I want to make sure that I'm really using and loving the things that I already own. I remember a time where I just had like one little makeup bag with all these products in it that I loved and that I used every day, and I created so many different looks with like 3 or 4 products, and I just want to get back to that a little bit and not feel like I have to have something new in order to be creative. So I think this will be a really interesting project. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are interested in following along with me. I would love to have some of you join me in this. I think it could be really fun. Let me know in the comments below also if you've heard of project panning before. Is it something that you've kind of looked into before? I'd love to hear from you guys down below. I'd also love to hear what your goals are for 2020, if you have any pertaining to any of the things that I've talked about or anything else. I would just love to hear from you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!